The Knicks had the 19th best record in the league, the 11th best record in the East, and the 19th best net rating. Their underlying metrics from last season indicated that they were due for a bit of regression, and their lack of true star level talent may be coming back to bite them after all. They do have another lottery pick this year to maybe try and find their star player that can turn things around permanently in the Garden. So, who are they likely to select? Well, I've scoured the internet for mock drafts to gain information and selected 4 players I think have a chance to be selected by them, and I'm going to give you some info on them. So, without any further dilly-dallying, let's get into it. Let's start with Jalen Duren out of Memphis. Duren really impressed towards the end of his college career with Memphis. He was immense defensively and a force inside on the offensive end. While more of his shots further from the basket did start to go in during that period, I'm still not quite convinced about that part of his game. What I am sure about is his rim running potential. That would be a base for him. The upside, for me, lies in his passing. He really flashed some great playmaking. A lot of it was on the move and when rolling to the basket. This could diversify the Knicks' offense, and considering they were in the bottom third for assist rate, the additional playmaking could be really useful. He is also only 18 and won't turn 19 till November, so you'd imagine there's still so much development ahead of him. Mitchell Robinson is a restricted free agent this offseason, so there could be an open frontcourt spot available. The pick value becomes less if he's going to be a backup early on, but if he develops, they could always just trade Mitchell Robinson later on. Next, let's talk about Johnny Davis out of Wisconsin. I could definitely see Johnny Davis being a very solid player in the worst case scenario, and a very good player if a couple things break right. The scoring is the main value add with Davis. He was an amazing scorer for Wisconsin. He's a sniper from the mid-range and is very crafty and smart with the way he gets his shots. The Knicks were in the bottom third for offensive rating last season, so his scoring should be really valuable to him. The physical tools on the defensive end are limited, but he shows great heart and passion and was very productive at the college level as an off-ball defender. That all-out, passionate approach will work well with Tom Thibodeau. The shot is a concern for some, but it looks good, he shot it well from the line, and he was good in the mid-range. The lack of athleticism worries are a bit overblown in my opinion too. He's not a plus athlete, but I don't think he's a bad athlete at all. He's never really going to be a primary facilitator too, but I do think there is some potential there. Now let's move on to Jeremy Sochan out of Baylor. Sochan is a high ceiling, low floor player. He's got good size and intensity, he's very smart and flashes some tasty traits, he's extremely versatile as a defender and can maybe guard positions 1 through 5 if he gains a little more muscle. His long arms and great anticipation make him a headache to have to deal with, and his awareness of the ball was great. He's got some passing potential that I'm really interested in, and his ball handling showed some life as well. He also plays with a lot of heart and is a guy who leaves it all on the court. Yeah, the jumper is a little iffy, and he's also not the craftiest at the basket. Finally, let's talk about Dyson Daniels. Daniels' perimeter defense is really good. He's a competitor, and he has the size and anticipation to be a real pest out there. Someone tell Tom Thibodeau to pick up his jaw. He's also very switchable and can guard anyone from small guards to mid-sized wings. That's great because it means he can play alongside any of the other Knicks guards from a defensive perspective. He's an artist in the pick and roll, and his general playmaking instincts are of a pretty high level. We mentioned the Knicks' lack of playmaking, and he would also help really bump that up. He also makes the right play a lot of the time and does the little things right. The jumper is very iffy and he struggles scoring at the rim. He's also not very athletic, so he can't really lean on that too much. The downside is a bit scary, but the upside could be one of the best role players in the NBA at his peak.